What is up? Wait, what the fuck? What is up, Voodoo Tribe? It's your girl Naja here, and I'm back with another video. And this video is a story time, but it's not from my past. It's actually from recently, and I just wanted to share it with you guys because, I mean, like, fuck it. Like, it is what it is. And no, the title is not clickbait. I mean, usually if somebody were to post this type of title, it wouldn't be considered as clickbait, but because of who I am and like what I always say on my channel, I could see how some people would be like, this bitch ain't really do that. But no, I did. And yeah, I just want to tell you guys a story. So before I get into it, because this may be a long one, I'm just going to tell you guys off the rip. Give this video a thumbs up if you like my story times, or if you just fuck with me in general. And make sure that every time you look at my videos that you are subscribed. YouTube loves to unsubscribe people from channels. I don't get it. Also, make sure that that notification bell is clicked, even though YouTube also sometimes doesn't even want to notify you guys. But if your notification bell is fucking up, I post every, what is it, Wednesday through Sunday. Yeah, sometimes I've been doing surprise uploads, that's why I got a little confused. But Wednesday through Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So let's just get into it. Some of you guys may see on my channel that when I do talk about my past, I'm always just like, you know, I don't smoke weed anymore, I don't do drugs anymore, and that's pretty much true. Like, I don't do drugs, I drink every now and then, you know, I vape, you get what I'm saying? But I'm not a weed smoker to the extent that I used to be. I don't want, and I know that sometimes it gets like kind of misconstrued. Like, I didn't want people to think that I came off, well, I can't control how I come off. I didn't want people to think that I'm like anti-weed just because I'm not a stoner anymore. Like, I'm very pro-weed, especially when it comes to medical reasons and stuff like that. Like, I really don't want to come off that way, and if I did, I didn't want people to think that like, oh, if you smoke weed, like you're lesser than I am, because that's not the case whatsoever. That's why I said in the beginning it might be a shock for some people because when they saw this title, but honestly, like, I have friends that smoke weed, they smoke weed around me, it doesn't bother me. Like, I really don't have a problem with cannabis whatsoever. So if I gave that impression to anybody, I am very sorry. I don't want you to think that like I'm condemning you for smoking weed, and it's not just because I smoked it recently. Like, I've always had this opinion about weed. I just know that there are some people that stumble upon my videos, and it is stories from the past, and I don't want younger people or impressionable people to think that what I did in the past was okay. That's why I always do like this disclaimer that, you know, I don't smoke weed anymore, I'm not in that type of lifestyle anymore, I don't do drugs anymore, for those impressionable people or for those younger viewers that could stumble upon my videos, because I know YouTube is like, their algorithm is really weird and certain videos get to certain people, and I just didn't want there to be any like misconception, if that makes any sense. But I've never been anti-weed, I've always been pro-weed. I just knew that I wasn't in the right mind space to be smoking weed. So that's why I've been taking like a really long, I took what, like a 2 to 3 year long hiatus from smoking weed. It was just a point in time where I thought, you know what, okay, I might be ready to, you know, try to smoke again. And this is that story. So a little backstory about my weed smoking experiences. I've never done a story time about my first time smoking weed ever. Some of you guys want to hear that story time. I might do it next week because you guys know I do one story time a week. So I might give it to you guys next week. But the first time I smoked weed, I was 14. And ever since that time, I had been smoking weed non-stop. Like, I was a legit stoner. I was one of those people where, oh, I can't eat unless I smoke, or, oh, I gotta wake up and have this bowl. Like, I was one of those people, and I'm sorry, but there are some people who are crackheads for weed. And I still am pro-weed, but I am mature enough to admit that there are some people that do have mental addictions to weed. It is not physically addictive, but I've known some people, and I still do know some people that are addicted to weed, because it's like you can't do anything if there isn't any weed present in the situation. Like, you won't hang out with people if they don't have weed, you won't eat unless you have weed. If the people you surround yourself don't smoke, you won't fuck with them. Like, that's having a mental addiction to weed, and you're like a weed crackhead. Like, I used to be a fucking weed crackhead, okay? Like, I would not hang out with people unless there was weed involved. If you didn't smoke weed, I didn't really see a fucking reason to talk to you, because it's like, shit, what the fuck are we gonna do? Because at that time in my life, my only common interest with the people I was surrounding myself around was weed. So I'm not trying to say weed is just like toxic as fuck, but human beings can make anything toxic. Like shit. An innocent example, a football player might only want to hang out with other football players and not the nerdy kid that they just so happen to have a few interests in because they don't play football. Like, it's just, it could be with anything. It's just, for me, that toxic thing was weed. I stopped smoking weed when was that? Like 2016, I stopped smoking weed, because if you guys have seen my Storytime video about me and Daniel's situation and what he had to go through and how he's on probation, he can't smoke weed. And I just saw that as like an opportunity for me to quit myself, because it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna quit now, and now I'm gonna have a partner with me that also needs to quit. I don't need to quit, but I want to quit, because at that time in my life, I was very foggy headed. If you guys watch my other story times, you know I had the roommate situation, I had the ex-boyfriend situation, I had a stalker situation that I never talked about on here, and it's just like, I had a lot going on at that time. I had a situation with my job, like, it was just a lot, and I decided that I really needed to be level-headed and to clear my thinking, and that weed was not helping financially and mentally for me, because I used to use weed as like something to help me numb myself and not really give a fuck, when it's like, bitch, when was that? I turned 20 in 2016. Yeah, so I was like, bitch, you're 20 years old, you're grown, you need to start thinking and stop trying to push all your problems to the back of your head and using weed to do that. You've been using weed to do that since you've been 14 years old. And ironically, when I stopped smoking weed and I became completely sober, I started remembering certain things about myself that I had blocked out, and I started opening up to family members about certain things that happened to me, and just like, overall, I don't know, kind of like evolved as a person. But I feel bad that it got misconstrued on this channel that, oh, weed is horrible and you shouldn't do it and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it's not that. It's just, depending on your personality, that shit's not for you. And I was using that as a crutch for a long time to numb myself, and I needed to be free of that. So, you know, the years went by, and every once in a while, you know, my friends who I'm still friends with who smoke weed, you know, every once in a while they'll be just like, yo, like, why don't you smoke? It's been a year, just smoke. And I'll just be like, I don't know, because I made this pact with Daniel and I don't want to disappoint him. I didn't want to be like everybody else that he had been with, because he was on probation before he met me, and like, I didn't want to be another one of those people that was around him that was just like badly influencing him and showing him that like nobody wants to go that extra mile for you, if that makes sense. Like, sure, I was doing it for myself in the beginning, but then it kind of turned into like this point where it was like, okay, I'm good, but if I wanted to, I could do it, because there's no penalty for me to do it. But I still want to have that self-control for Daniel, because I know that he can't do it. I know that that shit cannot be in the house because of his situation. I know it cannot be in the car because I don't want the smell to be on him. So let's just not do it. Like, you get what I'm saying? Plus, I've never really been a big fan of the whole, you know, hitting up the weed man type shit, and oh man, I text my weed man like 30 minutes and he still ain't show up. Like, I've never been a fan of that interaction. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I'm just not gonna do it. And I would have friends that would just be like, hey, like, you wanna smoke? Well, like, damn, you still don't smoke? And I'm like, nah. Oh, it's no big deal. Because my friends are grown. They don't really give a fuck if you smoke weed or not. Like, I'm a cool ass bitch, not to toot my own horn, but I'm just saying, I'm kidding. No, but seriously, like, my friends don't give a fuck. Like, they don't care that I don't smoke weed, so it was never really a thing. You know, the 2-year mark comes around and my friends are like, damn, now you still don't smoke? Oh, okay, cool. You know, it's whatever. But then after that 2-year mark happened, people were just used to me not smoking, and they like didn't really, none of my friends ever really pressured me to. Like, in the beginning, like in the first year, you know, every now and then if I'm around and people are smoking, they'll instinctively hand me the blunt and I'll be like, nah, I'm good. But after the second year, nobody really like asked me. It was just more so like a checkup, like, hey, do you still smoke weed? Because they want to be polite, and if I did smoke weed, they'll want to hand me the J. But I'd always tell them like, nah, I don't smoke. It is what it is, and it was never an issue. So, what was this? This was in 2018 when this happened. So a few months ago, like, cause it was like the winter time of 2018 before I left my last apartment and that whole shit went down, right? Daniel's brother had come over to our apartment or whatever, and hopefully I don't get in trouble for talking about Daniel's brother because people get so pressed whenever I talk about him for whatever reason. Anyway, he had came over and it was just like a normal hangout sesh. Like whenever he comes over, we literally just like chill, talk, listen to music, watch TV, whatever, you know. At one point, Daniel's brother was like,
yo, like I'm about to go smoke, like Naja, you want to smoke?
Bruh, you know I don't smoke. And Daniel was just like
Naja, like, why don't you just smoke? Like, you don't have to not smoke. Like, I personally cannot smoke or I will go to jail. Like, you can do whatever you want to do.
And that was kind of like the first time that, because I feel like mentally myself, I was telling myself like, not smoking is kind of like a loyalty to him. Like, to be completely fucking honest and blunt, I felt that way. And that was the first time he actually verbalized to me. Mind you, I've never said that to him before. But that was the first time he verbalized to me like, dude, you're your own person. Like you don't have to not do something just because I'm not doing it type shit. And I was just like still kind of weary because I was like, I don't know. Like I still don't know because I don't know. I was just kind of scared of just like reverting back to my old ways, if that makes any sense. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to do this still. I don't know. And you know, we kind of left it alone. But then like right before Daniel's brother was about to leave, he asked me again.
Like, yo, you know, I'm about to go smoke. Like, if you want to smoke, let's just smoke if you want to.
Daniel was like,
Naja, just smoke, dude. Like, it's not a big deal. I mean, you don't have to film tomorrow. It's cool. Like, it'll be cool. Just, you could do it just to see it.
And then finally in my head, I'm like, you know what? I kind of just want to try it because like I haven't smoked in 3 years. Like, I just want to, I mean, fuck it. Like, it was just like a fuck it moment in my head. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm in a better space. I'm in a better place in life. Like, I'm in a better mind space. I doubt it would be any harm. Bitch. Okay, so start this out by saying, weed has changed, bitch. Weed has changed. I don't know if it's because I'm in Florida and people have a hold of some medical shit now down here, but weed has changed. I used to be a stoner, bitch. I used to be able to smoke a whole blunt by myself in one sitting. I used to be able to clear fucking water bongs and all types of shit. Like, I used to be that bitch when it came to smoking weed. But I can wholeheartedly tell you, weed has changed. Like, you know how it's like in the 70s, everybody thought they was smoking loud, but they was really smoking mid? That's what I feel like the fuck happened. I feel like we was smoking mid this whole fucking time. And mid back in the day was actually Reggie because, bitch, weed has fucking changed. First off, we're trying to decide where we're gonna smoke because like the way my old apartment was set up, it's like there was no parking, bitch. And like the spot that Daniel's brother had was like right in front on Front Street, and he wanted to smoke in the car at first because Daniel and I did not want any smells in the apartment because I didn't want to get Daniel in trouble or whatever. And it just was too much on Front Street, and you know, we had the neighborhood watch snitches and shit all over the place, and it just wasn't gonna work. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna go on the patio and just do what it is because I mean, shit, it's already late, nobody's about to be out here, it's whatever. Because we genuinely had nowhere to smoke because I didn't want to smoke in our apartment and have it smell like weed and like get Daniel in trouble. So that was just out of the question. So we're like, okay, we're gonna go on the patio. So we went on the patio and we kept all the lights off, and you know, Daniel's brother sparks up the J, and he starts smoking, and then he hands it to me, and I looked at it for a second and I was like, okay. Now, mind you, I fucked up because I hit that shit like a vape. Like, I hit that shit like a vape. I took a big ass hit and I was just like, I feel like, honestly, I feel like it was gonna be like how it used to be. Like, I'm gonna be so real with y'all, before that night, I didn't even remember what it was like to be high anymore. Like, I didn't even remember what it felt like to be high anymore because I didn't do it, like, so for such a long time. And I never thought that I would forget how it felt because I've done it for so long, but I genuinely forgot how that shit felt. And you know, I hit it and I was just like, oh shit, I almost coughed, but I didn't cough, bitch. I don't cough. Trick to not coughing, just tell yourself don't cough. I hit that shit a few times And then I passed it back to Daniel's brother. And I noticed that Daniel's brother is talking loud as fuck.
Yeah, bro, I got that good shit.
Shut the fuck up. Like, you're being loud as fuck. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, we're not even supposed to be smoking. Because we lived in a no smoking building. So regardless of what the fuck you were smoking, you were not supposed to be smoking in that building. So fuck up. Like, you're being loud as fuck.
Man, it's not that big of a deal.
Daniel's brother is just like very irresponsible. He's cool as fuck, but he's just very irresponsible with certain things. Like, he just has a I don't give a fuck attitude with a lot of things. So he just did not give a fuck in that moment. So he was having to check him for volume or whatever. So I'm hitting it and I'm hitting it, and then I'm just like feeling high like very quickly. Like I felt like some newbie shit was going on. Like I felt like I was 14 all over again, and I was just like, yo, maybe I should stop smoking this while I'm ahead. And mind you, we probably had like this much of the blunt left, right? And I told him, I was like, bruh, this is my last time hitting it. I'm good.
Bruh, you should do it, blah, 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 just do it.
Nah, bruh, not doing it. Like, I know my limit. I am a newbie again. I'm a little baby. I can't do this shit, okay? So Daniel's brother's just smoking by himself, but he keeps like instinctively handing me the J, and I'm like, bruh, I don't want that shit. I just told you, I'm good. I'm Gucci. Like, I don't want it. And then, you know, he keeps smoking, then he keeps handing it to me. I'm like, no. Keep handing it to me again. No, like, bruh. So then finally he handed it to me again. I was like, fuck it. So I took a few hits and then I gave it back to him, right? And I'm just like, bruh, why did I do that? Like, I'm already dying right now. Like, this is stupid. So then he tries to pass it to me again, and I'm just like, bro, if you pass that shit to me one more time. And this is when old Naja kind of peaked out, because this is exactly how I used to be when I was younger. And then it kind of made me like mad at myself the day after when I reflected about it. But when I was younger and I used to smoke weed, I used to be a very like bitchy ass bitch sometimes, to be completely honest. I told him straight up, I'm like, dude, if you hand me that shit one more time, I'm gonna put that shit out on the floor.
Bro, you're not gonna put it out. You're not gonna.
But I've never been embarrassed about shit. When I'm, I do not give a fuck. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about what looks cool. I don't give a fuck about what's lame. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. If I don't want to do some shit, I'm not gonna fucking do it. So he thought I was gassing. He handed it to me again, and I just like fucking rubbed that shit on the floor. And I'm like, bro, like I told you, I'm not about to do this shit. Like, you thought this was a game, and I just rubbed that shit on the floor.
That's a party foul, blah, blah, blah.
I don't give a fuck. Like, I told you, I'm not about to smoke this shit. You keep putting it in my face. Like, that's not what we're about to do. Like, no. Like, I'm over here seeing fucking elephants and shit. Like, no. After I committed the party foul, we went back into the house, and then that's when I realized where my mental state was actually at. I went into the house, and all the lights and everything, and like, I don't know what it was that happened, but like immediately in my brain, I was like, I really wish I would have waited to do this, because I feel like I would have been way more comfortable with just me and Daniel, because me and Daniel's brother don't have like a brother-sister relationship. Well, it's weird. Like, we have a good relationship. Like, our relationship is cool or whatever, but I could never call Daniel's brother up and just talk to him one-on-one type shit. So I guess like I just felt like awkward, and I felt like I wish it wasn't just me and him high right now. Like, I wish it was me and Daniel, but that's not the case, and that can't be the case. And I felt guilty and stupid, because I'm like, I should have just waited. And so I get in the house, and I just felt like all eyes were on me, because I haven't smoked in 3 years, and I felt like everybody was staring at me, and I immediately was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. So I went into our bedroom and I started the shower, and I got into the shower, and y'all, I forgot how fucking amazing high showers were. It felt amazing. I'm in this shower like, yes, bitch, this is amazing. I probably took like a 20-minute shower. In the middle of that shower though, Daniel did come in the bathroom, and he was,
are you okay?
I'm like, hell yeah, I'm okay. I just felt dirty. And honestly, I did feel dirty, because I felt guilty and like, this was stupid. Why did I smoke with him? Like, that was dumb as fuck. Like, I just felt dirty and just So I told him, I was like, yeah, I just feel dirty. I need to take a shower.
Okay, cool.
So I'm in the shower enjoying myself, because I'm like, damn, this feels amazing, bitch. This feels amazing. And then when I get out the shower, and mind you guys, this was before like I started like my weight loss journey and stuff. I remember getting out the shower and looking at myself in the mirror and being so disgusted, like so disgusted. And like, it's weird, because like there was a point in time where I was overweight, but I was still confident. But I remember that night looking in the mirror and being so disgusted because I was like, damn, the last time I was blowed and I looked at myself in the mirror, I was a badass bitch. And now I look like fucking Grimace. Like, I was like, yo, I do not look like this. Like, this is not me right now. Like, bruh, like, I felt so shitty in that moment because I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I really look like this right now? That sucks. That sucks. That's exactly how I felt. I'm laughing now only because I've done the work on myself and I don't look like Grimace anymore, bitch. Like, we don't look like Grimace anymore, bitch. Like, you know, we don't. We're still working on ourselves, but we don't look like Grimace anymore. Don't let the purple braids fool you. We don't look like Grimace. Yeah, I remember having that thought, and then I was like, damn, I have to use the bathroom. And guys, I was so out of it that I couldn't tell if, you know how like when you're dreaming and you have to use the bathroom and you tell yourself like, oh no, this is a dream, don't release, like, you get what I'm saying? That's how I felt. And like, I'm sitting on the toilet and I remember thinking, am I really sitting on this toilet right now? Like, and I remember constantly checking myself and I'm like, do I have are my underwear pulled down? Are my pants pulled down? Like, am I actually sitting on this toilet? Am I okay to use the bathroom? Like, bitch, I was tripping, bruh. Like, I was like, bruh, this is not cool. Like, this is not cool. I do not remember this shit being like this. Like, I genuinely felt like I was lucid dreaming. And then finally I went to the bathroom and while I was going to the bathroom, I just kept checking myself, making sure like, okay, bitch, you're actually going to the bathroom in the toilet. Like, it was that fucking bad. So after that happened, you know, I put on some comfy ass pajamas because before, you know, I was dressed up and shit, but after my shower I put on some comfy ass PJs and I went out into the living room. And apparently Daniel and his brother were talking and shit that whole time, and his brother decided to leave. He was like, yeah, I'm about to go. And I was like, okay, cool. Finally, it's just us two, like how I wanted it. Because, and as soon as Daniel's brother left, I told Daniel, I was like, yo, I feel crazy. Like, this is scary. I don't like this. Like, this fucking sucks. Like, weed has changed. I got the fucking fear, bitch. Like, I'm scared. Like, I feel like I'm looking in funhouse mirrors. I don't know if I'm pissing or not.
You don't know if you're pissing or not.
Story, don't want to explain it, but I don't like this shit. I don't like it, and this was a mistake. And he was trying to calm me down and be like,
dude, you're fine, blah, blah, blah. Just watch the movie.
We were watching fucking District 9. Bruh, all I'm hearing is gunshots and I'm seeing aliens on the TV and we got a sound bar so it's loud as fuck. I'm fucking freaking out. I just got my head underneath a blanket and I'm literally on the couch. I was on the couch and I'm literally on the couch like this. I was terrified, bruh. Like, I was fucking terrified. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm about to go sleep this off. This is not how I remember being stoned to be like. I remember myself laughing, having a good time. Like, I'm over here fucking scared. Like, I'm terrified right now, bitch. Like, not cool. So, you know, I go to sleep. I remember going to bed by myself because Daniel was like, okay, I'm gonna finish the movie and I'm gonna come in the bed with you. I took my ass to bed. Like, I was like, bruh, this is too scary. I wanna be sober. I don't like this. I don't feel this shit wearing off anytime soon. Like, this is dumb. I'm mad. Like, I just wanna go to bed. A month after that, Daniel and I had gotten into some petty ass argument. I couldn't even tell you what it was about. Like, it was so petty to the point where I don't even remember. Like, I'm not telling you because well, even if I did remember, I wouldn't say it on the internet, but I'm just saying, like, I honestly don't remember. And I went to my my friend's house, one of my really close friends from childhood, and I was over there and we were just sitting down on her bed watching movies, you know, eating pizza, just chilling, and she was smoking, and she always smokes. Like, it doesn't bother me. But I told her about the experience I just told you guys, and I told her how, like, you know, it wasn't a good experience. And as time progressed, I did realize that it's because the person I got high with. And I told her, I was like, I feel like if I would have gotten high with Daniel and not his brother, it would have been different, but obviously Daniel can't smoke. So she was basically just like,
oh, well, you know, I have like this little ass blunt or whatever, like if you want, we could just smoke it, and if you don't want to hit it anymore, you don't have to. And
I'm like, okay, cool. So, you know, we went back and forth, hitting the blunt a little bit, and you know, I did feel a little bit buzzed, but I made sure not to smoke too much because I had to get home at some point. Sure, I was gonna stay over there for a few hours So like a lot of hours, like at least like I stayed over there for at least like 8 hours, but still I didn't want to be to the point where I was last time, where I felt like I was never fucking coming down. But the experience was so much different. Like, me and my friend were laughing. We were looking at YouTube videos, just cutting the fuck up, eating pizza. We even took a little nap. Like, shit was completely different. And that's when I realized, like, okay, it's all about like your company and not so much about like, I don't know. But all I know is that like it was really scary the first time I did that. And then, but because I was with somebody who I trust and who I was very familiar with and who I've known for who I've known for over 10 years, like, I knew that I just felt safe and I felt like I was in a good environment, and like if I did do something I wouldn't be judged and stuff. But it's just like, I don't know. I really fuck with the experience. But after that, I just decided that I probably still am not gonna smoke. I'm not gonna smoke. I told myself if I were to like ingest weed, I would wait to get my medical card and just do edibles or like wax pens and stuff like that. Because I really feel like another reason why I was feeling really like crazy is because I was smoking blunts, and the tobacco and shit had me feeling crazy. And like, I don't know, I just feel like I don't want to turn back to who I used to be when I did smoke weed. And I don't want to get into a habit of purchasing weed. I don't want to ruin the situation that I'm in right now. And like, you know, with our living situation and how we're able to live here, and Daniel's probation situation, like I would never put that at risk. So I don't foresee myself even getting my medical card until he's off probation. But I also don't view smoking weed as a habit. I have not smoked weed since that day with me and my friend. I recently went to her 420 party, last weekend. I still didn't smoke any weed. Like, I don't know. It just feels good to be able to do something whenever you want to do it and not be like, oh, I'm hungry. Oh, I need to eat, so I need to go buy a sack. Or like, oh, I need to hang out with some people with weed. Like, I'm very grateful that I'm not that way anymore. And I'm just okay where I'm at now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the story. Yeah. But for all my people out there who are trying to stop smoking weed, it's really not that hard. It's all mental. All you have to do is you don't have to cut out everybody in your life that smokes weed. If you have people in your life that smoke weed and they can respect the fact that you don't want to, those are the people you need to keep in your life. But if there are people who don't want to be around you anymore because you don't smoke, they don't need to be in your life, obviously. They probably don't even want to be in your life because you don't have the same habits as them. Make sure that you pick friends that have other habits other than smoking weed that you guys like agree on and shit like that, because that's also a very main factor. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I really don't know what to say. Will I be smoking weed in the future? I won't be smoking it, but once Daniel gets on probation, I'm totally down to get my medical card and, you know, probably get some edibles or get some wax or something like that. Because I feel like I'd be way more comfortable in my own home, in my own space, and just doing what I want to do than being like just smoking with whoever has weed, like, or just with my friend because she makes me feel comfortable. Sorry if I made anybody feel like I was anti-weed. I never wanted to send that message. It's just, I know that there are some impressionable people out there that watch my old videos of me doing stupid shit, and I just never wanted anybody to think that I was that same person that I used to be. So I always just made sure to let people know that I don't do drugs and I don't smoke weed. And I still don't consider myself a weed smoker. Like, shit, I'm friends with people who be, let me not snitch on the internet. I'm just saying though, like, if I really wanted to smoke weed, I could. Let's just say that. But I just don't feel like that's me anymore. So yeah, you know, I dabbled twice. In the past 3 years, I've dabbled twice. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel like I'm rambling at this point. Let me know in the comments below if any of you guys are taking a really, really long break from weed and then you decided to smoke again, and what was your experience like. Let me know in the comments if any of you guys have noticed the significant change